What's up, everybody? These are my top 5 favorite moments. I can't begin to even name just 5 moments. I have 100, and Austin and Brandon were so mad at me that I just wouldn't pick 5. All right, so I'm just gonna give you 5. I have 20 that I want to go, but these are the 5 just off the top that are fresh. Number 5, I'm gonna go with the Pittsburgh Steelers game at home, 2018, in the Oakland Coliseum. Black Hole was rocking. It was unbelievable. And I'll never forget, we ran Topeka. And I told Seth Roberts, there was a TV timeout or something. I told him, I was like, if we get this play, I know it's a deep cross, but if we get too high, Seth, I want you to take the middle. Seth didn't care. He knew all week he was supposed to run deep cross, but anytime the quarterback says something, he's like, yeah, no problem. And so late in games, for whatever reason, I always found Seth Roberts, they played too high. They had a safety running down the middle with him, and Seth took Topeka right down the middle. We hit it. So we just hit Seth Roberts down the middle. It's one of my favorite throws of my life. All right, and I threw a peppermint at a backboard like 55 yards away one time and drilled it. This was one of my favorite throws, okay? It was unbelievable. I knew Gruden was gonna be pissed. It was hilarious, and we ended up calling gash. I hit Derek Carr with about 20 seconds left to go up 24-21, and we ended up winning that game. I remember coming off that field, and we just won. Gruden hugs me, all these kind of things. He said, did you tell Seth to go down the middle? I said, yes. He's like, I love it. And what's beautiful about that is that he told me all week, don't let him do it. Don't tell him to do that, because I asked. He's like, don't do it. And then I told him to do it in the middle of the game. Ended up working out. Never forget, man, our O-line was banged up. Feliciano's on one leg. He tore everything. It was his last play. Gabe Jackson's elbow snapped, but they're still in the game protecting me. And I'll never forget that. That's why it's one of my favorite moments, because then we end up throwing the game-winning touchdown to Carrier. He trots in with about 20 seconds left, and we end up winning that game. But just the grit and determination, guys laying it on the line for each other in the most stressful moment. It's one of my favorites.
#1 sack defense in the league.
First down from the 47. Carr airs it out to the catch. It is made by Seth Roberts inside the 10. It is a touchdown to Derek Carr. And there's a lateral. Smith-Schuster down the sideline to the 50, the 40, the 35, the 30, run out of bounds to the 20-yard line.
To come timed perfectly right here. The execution of this is beautiful. First of all, you have to throw the fastball so he can catch it cleanly, and Washington does a great job.
Good snap, good hold, and the kick is blocked, and the Raiders have beaten the Steelers.
Number 4 has to be when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers made us wear black jerseys, thinking that was going to slow us down. Crab and Coop went off. Oh my gosh. I remember that game. Any chance I could get a one-on-one to one of those dudes, the ball was just getting chucked. And so they were making plays left and right. We had to come back on a 2-minute drill, hit Rivera, hit Coop, and Coop went up and mossed somebody. Crab caught a stop route. I still vividly remember that stop route he caught and got busy, cut back inside. But obviously, we hit a fullback. We hit a fullback down the sideline for like 70. I don't know if he scored. He's out on the one. It's been a lot of years. But I'll never forget that game in 2016 because it ended in overtime. They brought a pressure off the right side, great hide of the shell. They hit it great, and I just read it out. And I knew if he was coming anyway, I was going to be hot. Tackle did a great job, double bumping, stepped up, hit Seth Roberts. Seth broke 2 tackles, took it to the house. We won. Ended up throwing for a lot of yards that game, about 600 million.
Roberts, he's got it. It's still on his feet. Roberts, ball game. Raiders win. A 41-yard touchdown. And for the first time since Since 1977, the Oakland Raiders have started 5-0 on the road and now 6-2 overall.
What can you say on a day when they set the record for accepted penalties against them? The Raiders come in. What a great job just keeping his feet.
Bradley McDougal's got to make that tackle.
Oh,
he
no
came
doubt.
in with his shoulder. Look at number 30 right there. He's got a clean shot on right. He goes in with his shoulder, knocks his own man off the tackle.
He gave him the whole chicken wing. He just kind of flipped it out there. You got to wrap that up and pull him down, and that's a half.
Number 3, October 19th, 2017. I know you're surprised this isn't one, but for whatever reason, it only made it to 3, was the Kansas City game. Thursday night, we signed Navarro Bowman literally on Monday. This man plays on Thursday and doesn't miss a snap. I think that's one of my favorite moments of that game. Besides all the bombs we were throwing, we threw the flea flicker, we threw a crosser to Coop, and then always at the end of the games, my dog Crab came up clutch. And we ran about 7 untimed downs. They had penalties, we had penalties. The clock's at 0. Everybody's staring, everybody's watching. We're in the Coliseum, we're in the color rush jerseys, which look sick. It was an amazing atmosphere. And I'll never forget looking over at our sideline, and we had a 200 sprint out, 200 Z pylon. It was Crab's play, 200, 200, 200. And we threw the fade on Peters. So now we had already thrown the fade on Peters. And so they're like, hey, let's go Z pylon. And I'm like, guys, we just threw the fade on Peters. He knows we're going to throw another fade. He's going to jump this thing and take it back to the house. So I remember looking to the sideline. I said, 201, 201, let's go left. And so, man, again, chess game, right? Who knows if he would have jumped it. But that's where my mind was. We go 201. Crab runs a perfect route. I put the ball on him. He catches it, goes up. We hug each other. Who knows what kind of noises we were making, but we won the game. We ended up kicking an extra point, win it. That was number 3 in my book, one of my favorite moments, because our Coliseum was going nuts, the crowd was going nuts, and my whole family was there, and that's why it was special to me. Oh, I remember, too, on the last drive, it's a 4th down, and, they're playing too high. I said, look, Cookie, I need you. This is my guy, Jared Cook. I was like, look, if it's too high, throw that dude, and I'm going to put it on you. Man, he threw him. I put it on him. We extend the drive. They go to a single high. I rip one down the sideline. Somehow he doesn't get in. I don't know. But he goes up, makes an outstanding play. Seth is there, too. Maybe not his landmark, but I always know at the end of the game, if Seth's around the ball, good things happen. And so Jared goes up, makes the catch. Unbelievable, man. Just so many guys making plays, and all the credit always goes to the O-line, man. Way to get us there.
In these final seconds.
Do you sneak a run in right here? You can't, because now they got all the big boys inside. They're not letting you run. Everyone's one-on-one now. You could throw to anybody on this play. He's one-on-one up top right here.
One more time to decide it. Carr on the run.
Jim, if you get a penalty right here, the extra point goes back way far. As a coach, you got to get on that field and get these guys off. What a play, though.
Crabtree turns on Mitchell. And that's going to be confirmed for sure, not a doubt. Now Tavecchio will have the point after try to win the game. Remember, they lost by a point on Sunday to the Chargers, and they missed a point after late in that game.
What's going through my mind in those moments is we're winning the game. I don't care what I have to do. That's what's going through my mind. I don't care if I got to run in, jump in, flip, try and run somebody out, whatever it takes. You have to win the football game. And for whatever reason, man, it's one of those moments where you know you have to get it done. I always loved the ending moments. I love the game winners. Zay Jones, game winners. Seth Roberts, Crab, hitting all these game winners, all these different times. But for whatever reason, man, in those moments, you just lock in and there's no doubt you're going to win the football game. Like, we're sitting there and you're like, yeah, don't you always think that? Yeah, you're always confident. No, we're winning this game. But you know that it's already done because you already did it. You already put all the work in. And so in those moments, man, I just think of Kobe. That was my guy, taking the last shot. Hey, I may miss this shot, but I'm going to take it with everything that I have. All right, so what is the huddle like? Oh, my goodness. It depends who's in the huddle. Thankfully, there's been a lot of those comeback wins and game-winning moments were done with the same group. And there was a reason, is because we knew we could get it done. And so there wasn't much that needed to be said in those moments. I mean, I had Rodney and KO in the Pro Bowl with me on a 2-minute drive. We hit Delaney Walker single high. I'll go seam. And again, I look at those guys, man, I'm telling Rodney, hey, we're going to do this snap count. Rodney's looking at me like we're right there in a regular season game. And so, there's certain moments with certain guys that you just don't forget, doing those things with. But there are times my O-line does get stressed out. They always told me when I was like, I need a little time here, because they knew a double move was coming. And like, dude, this is the best pass rush that's coming right now. And so they did hate me for that a couple times, but it usually worked out, and we'd usually hit a big time shot. Number 2, in New Orleans, all right, with Crabtree. Now, I know that this is a funny one. I got Saints helmets and Raider helmets all around me, but just the memory of this one was unbelievable. We're playing against Hall of Fame Drew Brees. We're going against D.A., Sean Payton, all these guys. Brandon Cooks just caught a 109-yard touchdown on us. Like, this game was unbelievable. And I'll never forget running for a first down, doing a flip over somebody as Cam is chasing me, and doing the first down signal while one of my college teammates is standing right there, and I get shoved out of their sideline. Like, there were just so many good memories about that game. But obviously hitting Seth for the touchdown, and I remember Jack telling me, like, we're going for 2. We're winning this thing. I was like, well, get your 2-point play ready. Let's go. We're going to go score. And we went right down the field. We scored, and we called a zone play, and we got one-on-one, and Crab was my guy. I had a lot of those guys, but Crab on that moment was my guy. He had the fade. I gave him a chance. He made a great play back in the Superdome. It was awesome. I remember looking up, and obviously it's Drew, so you're like, man, if there's any time on this clock, we left too much of it. But we ended up winning that game. It's one of my favorite memories, the celebration that broke out in our locker room. Just Jack saying that we're going for 2 on the road like that. It's one of my favorite ones.
On 3rd and 10, Carr pointing, keeping, running. He won't get the first down. Derek Carr on 4th down. Floats one. There's a flag. The flag.
Pass interference, defense number 52. On a first down, spot of the foul.
1:37 to play. Carr, Richard hit hard and knocked backwards. Catch made, Seth Roberts spinning into the end zone. Touchdown Raiders. Going for 2. Carr for Crabtree. He has it. He held on to it.
Number 1 has to be, for sure, when I called a timeout against the Chargers at home in Vegas, baby. It was awesome. I never forget that moment. We're going down. It's a 3rd down. And I remember I step up, and this wasn't even Colton's fault, but I stepped up real hard because I had to put a little extra juice on this one. I remember falling into Colton, getting hit in my chest, and I remember Zay Jones running a bench, catching it on the sideline, stepping up, first down, and it was kind of at that moment that I knew we were going to win the game. Our players knew, but I think there were some people on the sideline that were okay with a tie. They were doing okay with that. And I was not okay with that. And so hitting that pass kind of fired me up, looking at them like, let's go win the game. And then Josh busts off a long run and gets us down there. And I'll never forget, I'm standing there, talking to Rich, and I'm like, let's go win this game. He's like, let's do it. So we run the play. Josh gets us farther down there. And I remember standing by my buddy Cleet. I love you, Cleet, standing there. It's a great moment for both of us. I still need a picture autographed by you of that one so I can put it in my nice new office. But never forget standing there. And I'm thinking like, dude, we're about to take the Raiders back to the playoffs. I love that feeling. I love doing that. We're going back. I didn't get to play the first time. I snapped my ankle in half. There's so much pain, so much, determination, so many hours, so much blood, sweat, and tears to get back to that moment. I remember, because we had Carlson, so I knew he was going to make it. And so I'm standing there, and I remember giving a little smirk, calling that timeout. And it made it sweeter because it was against a rival. Kick them out of the playoffs, send them home, like make them sad, all of the above. We're not trying to tie with them and let them get in there. First of all, you trying to play Derwin James again, right? Send him home. Don't let him play anymore. These guys are way too good, all right? And so we ended up sending them home, but for now, that's my favorite memory.
Jones goes in motion. Jacobs. And he's going to take it to the 29, and now they're going to be set up for a field goal attempt by Carlson. No sense taking a timeout if you're the Chargers here, because it doesn't matter. So it's going to come down to this. A man who's never missed in the stadium in 2 years will try to send them to the playoffs, send the Chargers home, and send Pittsburgh to Kansas City.
Oh, my God.
Now they do take the time. I thought for a second they were going to let it roll all the way out.
They could have. And that would have been the way they could have guaranteed themselves a spot in the playoffs, and yet they still want to win the game. They still want to kick this field goal.
Exactly. Money.
Biggest kick of the year for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Snap good, hold good, and Raiders in, Chargers out, Steelers in.
We'll never know, but I can't help but wonder if that timeout changed the mindset of Rich Bisaccia.